Alright guys, today I want to discuss human growth hormone, the 101, the basics, the pros and cons of it. First of all, I'm going to go over the cons and the disadvantages of it because these are the most important things you need to consider. Although there may be a few benefits, there's also a significant amount of side effects, and today I'm going to share you with them, the most significant ones out of all of them. Alright, so first of all, you have an increased risk of joint pain. Some people may not care about that, but listen to every single one of these and you might start to rethink taking it. Second of all, increased risk of carpal tunnel syndrome. Now there's a whole scientific explanation of what it is, but basically I know people who suffer from it, not from taking human growth hormone, but still some people can develop it through their lifestyles without taking human growth hormone. But basically what happens is you get a numbness and sort of stiffness in your arm and hands, which can be an absolute pain in the ass if you want to be a bodybuilder and you're lifting weights and shit starts to tighten up and you can't lift weights. That's a pretty significant side effect. Third of all, an increase in glucose intolerance, which can cause diabetes. And if you suffer from diabetes, your bodybuilding career is obviously going to be affected, and you obviously do not want to be injecting needles for the rest of your life, not to do with bodybuilding, but to do with your intolerance to glucose. Fourth of all, you have an increased risk of cancer. This may be associated with the increase in cells of everything. Once you inject human growth hormone, it increases the cell production of everything. And if you have cancer or risk of cancer, it may increase this risk. There's been studies done which have shown this. I'm not going to say for definite you're going to get cancer if you take human growth hormone. Some people get cancer from basic things, so you have a risk from it from anything in life, but that is also an increased risk for you if you do take human growth hormone. There's also an edema, I believe it's pronounced edema, but basically it's spelled E-D-E-M-A, but that's basically the scientific version. But what is basically happens is it's retention of fluids, which causes a swelling in the body, which you may notice in some people, especially like sort of water retention. People might look sort of fluffy and stuff like that. And then there's also the swelling of the organs, which are such a significant side effect, and I want to cover that then because that's the most significant one. There is the risk of acromegaly, which is basically a condition that causes connective tissue in the face and bone to grow at an increased rate, which basically means, and as you've probably seen amongst a lot of bodybuilders, especially people like Cutler, they sort of have a jaw that looks like this, and is significantly affected. As you can see, it completely changes the way people would look normally. If you've seen Dr. Dre, he went from a fucking normal sized head to a swollen head. And as you see amongst bodybuilders, their organs swell up significantly. Now obviously you may not be able to see the heart, etc. But if you look at the stomach, that is every single part. That's all their organs are swollen up. That's why you see extremely lean bodybuilders who have completely ripped, chiseled abs, but their bellies stick out. Instead of being flat, they sort of stick out to about here. And basically what that is their organs have been increased in size, and the only place for them to go is in the stomach area because the chest is blocked by your ribs. So obviously there's bones preventing your chest from sticking out, but obviously the stomach just pops out, and that's your intestines increasing in size, your liver increasing in size, your kidneys, your heart, everything increasing in size. And basically what will happen is, if this continues for a long period of time, your actual belly button will begin to pop, and then your intestine will start coming through it, which has been documented by some athletes, which has happened, which is pretty fucking disgusting, and obviously doesn't sound healthy, which some people try and claim human growth hormone is just some health supplement that's going to make you so healthy. You got to be careful, and you got to be willing to research it, know what amount works for you if you do take it. I personally don't recommend taking it because it's not supposed to be naturally taken in nature. If you think about it, there was no human growth hormone fucking tree that's injecting you with stuff. So now I'll cover the pros, because there are pros to this, and obviously this is the reason why some bodybuilders take it. First of all, there's obviously it obviously improves your muscle mass and your strength gains. And the reason for this is that it promotes growth of muscle tissue, muscle fiber and cells, therefore obviously making the athlete bigger, more muscular and stronger. Obviously these people are lifting such heavy fucking weights. It also decreases body fat, which is obviously a benefit, especially if you're going for a bodybuilding competition and you've been bulking up. If you take human growth hormone, it helps utilize the fat and free glucose in the body, meaning that you're obviously going to decrease your fat, the amount of fat cells you have, by the human growth hormone promoting the body to use those cells for energy, which ties in with my third point for one of the pros, which is basically it facilitates the burning of fat and free glucose, which increases energy and vitality. And the fourth one is strengthening the bones. It stimulates growth and development of the bones, which obviously some people grow taller even after puberty whilst taking human growth hormone, but obviously they'll have more denser bones. So there you have it, guys, the pros and cons of taking human growth hormone. You need to decide whether you want to. It's becoming more famous amongst the fitness industry for people taking human growth hormone. I don't recommend you take it, but if you choose to, it's your choice. You gotta know the pros and cons. There you have it, guys. Boom! Ah!